We're seeing Brad Treliving will be speaking with the media, doing a press conference in about an hour from now. Do you expect to get answers from him? Like, I guess the Marner question is going to come up. What do you think he would say, or what he will say in an hour when he gets asked about it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Is he going to take cheap shot at recent reporting? I don't know. I don't think he's going to dive too deep into it. He's learned that the world around the Toronto Maple Leafs is a world of sometimes wild speculation. So beyond that, I don't know what his comfort level is, but what I can tell you is that really there's been no change in any of this. There really hasn't been. As far as Brad Treliving is concerned, his focus is more on what he's got right in his face right now, right? And he knows that he needs to beef up his blue line. He'd like to add 2 right-shot defense. Well, is he going to be able to do that by adding maybe 1 right-shot defenseman from the market in either Matt Roy or Pesci's probably too expensive? What if you give a bit longer term to Chris Tanev and pull him away from the Dallas Stars negotiations? And that's more of his focus. But you're right, he'll be pushed on Marner. And, I think that all scenarios remain in play, but not front burner. So the messaging would probably be, and this is my sourcing on this, look, Marner is looking forward to playing for Craig Berube. Craig Berube is looking forward to coaching Mitch Marner. But that does not prevent the manager from having trade-related conversations. Certainly doesn't prevent the manager from talking about what the framework of an extension might look like if he happens to come across Darren Ferris here in Vegas. But I can tell you that meeting between Ferris and Treliving isn't planned. So it'll be more about the same around Marner, I would expect.
Yeah, that's interesting because, the money is all a part of it, as we know, and we've discussed this countless times, and we'll continue to discuss it. But you mentioned Pesci, like if he's looking at, $6 million plus, if that gets too rich for the Leafs, like what? I guess they have to work under the guidelines that Marner and 10.9 are going to be on the books. Like if Pesci's too expensive, then that would suggest they don't have as much money as some people want them to have, which maybe that gives us an answer on what their plan's going to be moving forward.
Could be. It absolutely could be. And how much bargain shopping are you going to be able to do when some of those top guys tick off the board, right? Look, I mentioned Tanev. Dallas is still trying to work their magic and keep him there. And I think that Tanev would like to stay in Dallas, but he's also at the end of his career or near the end. But he has value. And what does that value look like in term and in dollars? Dallas and Texas, they've got the advantage with the tax system. So if you really want Chris Tanev, then you're going to have to pay in term. And that's where it gets dicey. But I can also understand why a team would do that. If you're not worried about burying a guy in long-term injury in year 4, 5, 6, then what does it matter? If that's a guy that you covet and you think you can get him, that makes good management sense to me. And I'm using Tanev as an example. What's LA going to do with Matty Roy? What about Vincent Darren? That coming out of the Stanley Cup final. Brad Treliving loves the big trees, as he likes to refer to him, and Darren, the big tall tree back there. So there are some other options that could be, more sensitive to the salary cap.